So this section is different from some of the ones that we've had before because we're talking about something called matrices. This is actually in chapter 4, which we skip, so you will notice that this is not something that we'll talk about in the book. If you do need to look something up, it is in chapter 4. We're kind of just hitting some of the highlights. We're not doing the whole chapter just because it's not in the curriculum. So what I want to do is kind of just give you an overview of matrices, and I want to show you a few little things in your calculator. So first of all, when you're talking about a matrix, the plural is matrices, it's just a rectangular array of numbers written within brackets. Now honestly, this is what it looks like. Now here are the things that you need to know. First of all, matrices are always named as a capital letter, so this is matrix A. They'll be named all sorts of things. And when you describe the matrix, it's given in terms of the number of rows. There's 2 rows here, and the number of columns. There's 1, 2, 3 columns. This is a 2 by 3 matrix. Number of rows, then number of columns. Now, I usually see people switch it. They'll say it's a 3 by 2. It's important you get that order right because we are going to put these in our calculator in a second. If you put it in the wrong way, it's going to make a different shaped, different sized matrix. So you do want to be careful on that. So here are a couple of matrices. If you look at this one, you'll see it's a 3 by 2. It's a 3 by 2 matrix. If you look at this one, it's a 1 by 3. 1 row, 3 columns. So make sure you name them correctly. Now, if you are talking about a specific element in, this is matrix A, but if you're talking about a specific element, one of these numbers, it's called an element, you name it with a lowercase letter, and then you specify your row and your column. Now I want y'all to look at this. This is not a 13. It's row 1, column 3. So it's 2 digits. They're giving you the row, they're giving you the column. Okay, so this is element A, little a, that means it's from matrix big A, and it's first row. Okay, here's the first row, 3rd column. Now if you look at this, the number that overlaps is 3. That's the element you're talking about. Okay, now let me erase this so we can do the second one. Okay, so we are talking about element A3, that's the row, 2, that's the column. The one that overlaps here is 30. So element 3, 2, 30. Okay, so we're going to talk about adding, subtracting, and multiplying our matrices. So if you're subtracting, let's do adding first. If you're adding, honestly, it's super easy. You just take, here it's your matrix A, alright, here's matrix A. And you add it to matrix B. Now when you go through and do this, you're just going to add up like elements. So you'll add up element 1, 1 from each of them, so that's 4. And it goes in that spot in your matrix. You'll add those two, 6, 7, negative 3, I think you're getting the idea. So this is A plus B. Now, subtracting, you do exactly the same thing. Let me write it down. except you'll need to make sure that you distribute out this negative. And then same thing you did before. Add like elements. Combine the like elements. So 3 and negative 1 is 2. Negative 2, 1, 1, 2, negative 4. Okay. So let's look at multiplication. And we're going to look at two kinds of multiplication. The first one is multiplying a matrix by a scalar. That just means by a number. Now, when you're doing that, you just distribute it out. That's it. So, 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 5 is 15. You get the idea. Super easy. Now, matrix multiplication, where you're multiplying two matrices together, is a little bit harder. So here's what you want to do. You want to go through and make sure they're compatible. To do that, write out the size of the two matrix. So this is a 2 by 2. And this is also a 2 by 2. Okay, if you can multiply them, these numbers should be the same. The outside numbers will tell you the size of your answer when you multiply. So 2 by 2. So let me put that in here. And I always like to put these little lines when I'm doing the matrix multiplication. It just makes it easier for me. I know exactly which one I'm putting in here as I go through my process. Okay, now here's what you're going to go through and do. If you're looking for this element right here, you're going to pick its row from the first matrix. So I'm in row 1. I'm going to pick the first row. I'm going to pick the column from the second matrix. I'm in column 1. There's column 1. And then here's your process to get this number right here. You're going to multiply the first number times the first number in your second matrix, so 3. And then you're going to multiply the other numbers that are left. So plus 0 is 3. So you're going to do the row from the first column, or the first matrix, column from the second matrix, and then multiply their elements together. Okay, so let's do this one. Okay, first row again. So I'm going to use that one again. Second column. There's my second column. And then I'm going to multiply my elements. So negative 1 times 3. 0 times 0. So negative 3. Okay, now I'm going to keep doing this for my other elements. So let's see, let's choose pink. Okay, second row, first column, so I'm using the pink ones here. So 3 times negative 3 and negative 4 times 5. So negative 29. Okay, and then the last one, let's see if I have any more colors that will highlight very well. I guess we're doing orange. Okay, so here it's second row, second column. So I have 3 times 3, negative 4 times 0. Now this process is how you're going to go about multiplying these matrices together. Once you get the hang of it, it doesn't feel so hard, but you do have to kind of get the hang of it a little bit. Okay, so let's do one more of these. Okay, so this matrix is 2 by 3, and the second one is 3 by 2. So these match up, and my answer is going to be a 2 by 2. So let me put that in here. And like I said, I like to go ahead and put the spots where all the numbers are going to go. And then I'm going to go through, and we'll just go in the same order we did last time. Okay, so this one is yellow. This is first row, first column, row from the first matrix, column from the second matrix. And then I'm going to go through and multiply. So 1 times 0 plus 0 times negative 2 plus 0, or negative 2 times 0. So 0. Okay, second number here. First row, second column, first row, second column. And then I'm going to go through and do my multiplying. So 1 times 3 is 3. 0 times anything is 0. Negative 2 times 4 is negative 8. So I have negative 5. And then I'm going to keep doing this for my other 2. Alright, so if I do this third element here, second row, first column, and then I'll go through in my process. So 0 times 0 is 0, negative 6, and 0. So negative 6 total. And then last one we will do, what color did I do it before? Orange. So second row, second column, and go through my process again. So 0 plus a negative 3 minus 4 is a negative 7. Okay, now remember, in order to be able to multiply them, those two have to match up. If they don't, you're going to run into some problems. It's going to happen. Now, quickly, I would like to show you how to put these into your calculator. So let me just show you the one we're going to use to put in our calculator. We're going to put, just because I don't have too much time left, we're just going to put A into our calculator. I just want to show you how to put it in. That's all that really matters. You will see right here, here's my cursor, and I'm moving it over here onto the keyboard. You'll see right here is your matrix menu. To get to it, you need to hit second and then this button right here. So second matrix. Now your first column, it has your matrix kind of stored in there, but it's only if you want to say I'm using matrix A. So you aren't going to actually go there yet. Your second column, just hit the over button, has a whole bunch of different things that you can do with matrices. We're only going to use one of them here in a second. The third one is where you can actually edit your matrices, and that's what we want to do. So I'm going to go back over here. So what I want to do is put this matrix right here in my calculator. If you look at this, this is a 3 by 2 matrix. So I'm going to go back over to my calculator, and I'm going to tell the calculator the dimensions I want. So I want a 3 by 2. And it'll change it to those dimensions. Then all you do is type in your numbers. So negative 3, and then it'll automatically go over, so just keep that in mind. 4, 7, negative 5, 0, negative 2. Okay, now I'm going to just quit out of here, so second, quit. If I want to pull that matrix up to use it, I'm just going to go back to that matrix menu and pick A. See how it's a 3 by 2? That's where I put my matrix in there. Here it is. There's my matrix. I can do anything I want with it. I can multiply 2 times A, and it'll take that 2 and distribute it out. Now, I won't let you use your calculator on every part of a test, so you do need to make sure you can do these by hand, but we are going to talk a little bit more about using the calculator in our second part of the matrices thing tomorrow. So this is our intro to matrices.